afternoon and welcome to another episode of Try Bonsai. It's your boy Mana here again, and today, my friends, we are going to work on Salicaria ficus. And what we're going to do with this ficus today, I am going to do some heavy pruning to the canopy, and I am going to repot this ficus. So with that, let me show you the piece of material I'm working with today. All right. Okay, my friends. So as you can see in your direct view, this is the trunk of the Salicaria ficus. Very close and similar to the Repotting ficus, otherwise known as the willow leaf ficus. However, this, unlike the Repotting, has a bigger leaf size. So the Repotting's leaf is smaller than this. But this, my friends, is the Salicaria ficus, and I am showing you from the base of the tree. Now, as you can see, I would have made a cut here, and I can't remember when I make this cut. As a matter of fact, I can't remember when I originally got this particular plant. It was a cutting that I got, and I propagated it well. And from this one tree, I was able to create several other trees. So, my friends, quick tidbit. I've been talking for the last 5 minutes, and I was not recording. So, all the thing that I say, I lost it. Anyways, trying to make whatever I said into a little snippet, I used something that I had at home. This used to be the base of baby bottle warmer or something of the sort. I drilled some holes in it, and it served as a nice shallow pot to help with that root flare and the root spread, and also to create or start to help me create that nice kind of nabari kind of system with this tree. So as you can see, I have a nice taper coming up here. Now, what you're also seeing is that I removed a very low branch, and I mean there's a very big scar which will heal over time, but I removed that, and from that, because of how vigorously this particular species is and how quickly it propagates, I was able to create more from this one particular tree. So I removed this from here. I also have another piece that I removed from here, another branch, and this is the overall look at the tree. So let me just give you a 360 view of what it looks like. And that could have served as the back of the tree. There's another branch that I removed, as you can see here, as I try to part my way through the leaves, right? And I used all the branches that I cut off, all the major branches that I cut, I used them to create more plants, Now, this particular species, as I said, is the Salicaria, very close to the Repotting ficus, otherwise known as the willow leaf ficus. However, this leaf size is a little bigger than the Repotting. It's the same shape, but it's a little bit bigger. So the plan today is to repot this fella, because as you can see, the roots are going round and round in a circle and all over, like a crossing root here, and you're seeing roots going around here, right? And to do a bit of work up in the canopy of this, to start creating that nice canopy, and creating that branching that I want to get in the future. So I'm starting now and I'm moving on with that. Now, there is a scar here that you would notice. I did apply some wire to this some time ago, and I left it a little too long and it left a scar. And I'm working with it, because this, as I left it alone and I did not interfere with this at all, it has started to show that it has the potential to create something very beautiful. So I'm hoping that I don't mess that up. So with that said, friends, let's get to work with first pruning back this canopy, and then we're going to repot this tree. Yeah? Alright. So my friends, I am not going to defoliate the tree. I'm not going to do that. I am just going to look at each branch, follow each branch coming up, and prune it back to what's getting that, creating that nice canopy. So what I have happening here is that it comes up, and this could possibly be the apex of the tree. Let me bring you all in a little closer to see what it is I'm talking about. So my friends, this, as you can see, is the apex of the tree. I'm going to take this out immediately, because this not adding any value here. There's a leaf that's blocking me right. So this could serve as the apex of the tree. I have a very big branch coming off on the side. There's another underneath branch that I need to take off. So there's a very big branch coming off on the side here. And there's a branch that bifurcates nicely on the side here. Now there is a very, very big branch coming off to the back that I'll have to make a decision on, because it wanting to create, well, it's already started creating a bulge at this point. So let me show you what I'm talking about here. Okay, my friends, so as you can see, there's a bulge here at this junction where it splits into three. And this is a little bit swollen in comparison, but not that bad. So we're going to make a little correction to this. And as I said, we're going to prune this thing back to start creating something nice. All right? So let me get to work. So my friends, as I continue on from yesterday, as you can see, I have taken quite a bit off of the tree, and I have a very, very big decision to make, and that decision is where it concerns this particular growth here. So we have the apex coming up here, and then you have this branch coming off on this side. You have this here, and you have, well, the apex happening. And I don't want to create reverse taper at this juncture. Now I have this pegged as the front, a possible front. This is also a possible front for the tree. However, if you look at the base, if I use this as the potential front, my friends, you don't have that fantastic flare on either side as you would have here, a better flare. However, there was a big branch that was taken here, so you realize that I stopped short somewhere here. So the thing is, again, Rome wasn't built in a day, and I can choose this particular look as the front, or I can choose this particular side as the front. However, it will show off this scar. Now, I am more inclined to pick this side as the front, and let me show you the overall tree as I step back. I'm inclined to pick this as the front because it leans more towards the audience and we have a little more play. So if I shift it just a tad, and that is it there. This, my friends, is the front where you see the line unobstructed by branches, and we have the left, right, back situation happening. But as I said, there is a decision that has to be made whether I'm going to keep this or I'm going to reduce this. So what I think I'll do, I'm going to do something. I'm going to remove one of these branches to reduce the vigor in this particular branch, because as you can see, it is very heavy set, quite thick. Remove this leaf. So as you can see, it is quite thick in comparison to this branch and in comparison to this. So what I will do, I will remove it, the divide here. So I will remove one of these to try to reduce the vigor. I could probably use this as the new lead for this particular branch here, or there's a branch under here. You come around, there's one under here that could be used, So there's this on the side here, but I'm going to remove something from here. So let's see how that goes. Yeah. All right. So my friends, as I turn, I have another dilemma, and let me adjust my camera to show you. There's another dilemma here that I'm faced with. There is this apex and there is this branch that is coming off here, and this has a lot of vigor in it. Now, if I am, as I identified this as the front, then those two branches are running in line with each other, right? And you know what? In order to get good looking later, you had to be a little ugly now. So I am going to remove the thicker branch underneath and develop this thinner one as the apex, hoping that over time I can create a canopy with some really nice sub branching. So according to my good friend, big cut coming up. And if I may say so myself, I think it looks better without it. It could be little scrawny now and sparse. And let me neaten up this cut a bit. And as you can see, it is bleeding quite heavily. So that shows that, the tree is healthy. So it's bleeding quite a bit, which is a good sign. But I believe that this move was the right move on toward a brighter future for this particular tree. And as I look at it, my friends, I don't necessarily want this tree to be much taller than this. I want ideally to create that canopy, and I may over time reduce the height of it, or I may just leave it and maintain this particular height with a canopy a couple inches above it, a few inches above it, and a nice sprawling something. So without skipping a beat, we're on to the next step. As I mentioned yesterday, because what happened yesterday, I started recording and I started kind of late, and we had a bout with some mosquitoes and I just couldn't deal, so I had to stop. So this is the continuation from yesterday. So what I'm going to do now is I am going to repot this. However, I do not have a pot for this right now, so I'm going to put it back into the same container that it is in, but I'm going to take the opportunity to do some root pruning and do some root selection. Yeah, so let me go down that road there now. Yes, my friends, so apparently I like to put rocks in plantings. I don't know. This looks so nice. It looks so very nice. But this is the happenings here. So, as I said, this was a baby warmer that was no longer in use, and I found a use for it because it looked like a nice shallow bonsai training pot. And lo and behold, no, rain fell last night. Yay for that. Ooh, and it is out. Look at that, my friends. Look at that. Nice. So, let me get to raking this out and let's come back and take a look at the roots. Yeah? Okay. So my friends, taking advantage of the fact that this is a ficus, and ficus species tends to respond, at least most of them, tend to respond to bare rooting and washing up the roots. So I took the opportunity to do that in this instance. Now, if the plant dead, well, I'll learn a hardcore lesson. You can't do that with this species, but what we're going to do now is to look at the root system. We have some good roots and we have some stuff that's not pointing in the direction that we want. Right? So I'll go in and, as I am now saying on a regular basis, I'll go into Nigel Saunders, the root system, and then repot this fellow and hope for the best. Right, so as we look at the root system, as you could see, there's nothing much coming from this juncture here. There's this one root, and there's a fine one, but there's this big root that goes all the way right, like straight right. And if I were to remove this fellow, I would take away a few roots from him. But there is this little root on top here that could possibly take his place. I do not know. Right, I do not know. Now this, if looking at the root plane, this flows down nicely. This is a root that is on top here that doesn't need to be here. So I'm going to take that off. there's a root crossing over here that comes from, wow. Where are you coming from? You can be repositioned into a new space. This root, did you fuse? It would seem so. So I'm going to take you out. And you are coming from under here. You are coming from here, I see. So this is gone. This root came out and went that way. So I'm going to cut back here. Now I have some roots under that. I mean, there's a lot of roots that going under. But before I tackle that, there's this obvious fella that is going in an off direction. And there's this long guy that has a root coming from him here. So I'm going to take this off here. And let's see if, well, this is not necessarily a thing. So this was a mistake. Ha! You live and learn, yes? Wow. So as I'm in this particular area, there's a root under here that you could see going in a funny angle. Take him out. And I'm hoping that I don't have to do too severe of a root reduction type situation. You know, this root is curling. So I'm going to take this off. There's a root. There are some roots that are coming off here that going backward that I'm going to take out. This is another one that is going in a bad direction. Right. Now it's not that very many roots to begin with. So this comes out and it goes across. So I could take this fellow off. This fellow is, let me leave you for now. You sticking up, you out. You under here going in a bad direction. So you are out. And I clipped a root in error. And whilst I was doing that, I noticed that I have this fellow underneath here. It's going straight down. So I'm going to take him off. You know, further flattening that root base. We're starting to look like we're in something. But as I said, I don't want to overdo the removal because ideally I want the plant to survive. And earlier I said that I did not have a pot to put it in. I was going to put it back into the same makeshift container that I have. but I have something, a concrete pot. So let me bring that and offer it up, and let's see how that goes. Yeah, give me a sec. So this, my friends, is the concrete pot that I have, and if I reduce the roots a bit more, it would be able to fit into this. However, I don't know if reducing the roots anymore would be the best bet for this particular tree. But I kind of like how it's looking in this thing. So, I'm going to take the chance. I am going to bite the bullet and do some additional root reduction in the hopes that I get a better root system and we start this plant on its way to becoming a really gorgeous bonsai in the future. So I kind of I realize I'm cutting out of camera scope. Oh Lord, sharpen your tools. I'm going to have to, my friends, it's a tad bit embarrassing, but I'm going to have to invest in a different set of tools because these tools that I have are not doing what I want them to do. So I'm going to take you off, cut you back, reduce you, reduce. So I've reduced quite a lot, and I am still reducing just a smidgen again. And now, as you can see, it fits nicely in the pot. So with that, let's get to potting this up and hope for the best. Yeah, what is it? All right. Alright, my friends, so this is the finished product. Let me give you a view of it, a full view of it. So as we go around, you can see where we took off several branches before, and I took off some now. And we did a good bit of root reduction. I'm going to put some stones back in the planting to stabilize the tree and give it a good watering. And that's it for this. Yeah. So there you have it, my friends. This is the finished product. It's nice and well watered. As you can see, the water is still draining out of the planting, and there are one or two little things that may need snipping, but I am comfortable with what this is at present. Some might agree or disagree with the choice in pot, but this is the pot that I have, and it works well for now. The color might be a little bit off, but I think it works well, and it will allow for a lot of development with regards to this particular tree. You know, so this is that. Let me get a couple of rocks and put it into this planting just to ensure that the plant could stabilize itself. All right, so that's it for this. That is it for today. Thank you so very, very much for joining me here on Try Bonsai. As per usual, be good to yourself, be good to others. Before I say my final saying, as usual, thank you to everyone who has subscribed thus far. And I encourage you, if you know anyone who might be interested in the things that I'm doing, share it. Share it with them. Let them come on the scene. Come in like ice cream. So to everyone who has subscribed and is liking and continuously asking, making comments and whatnot, I appreciate it. I like it a lot. The more people inside, the better. And as we are experiencing very poor air quality condition here in Trinidad, because we have a lot of dust in the atmosphere, I urge you all to remember, and also acknowledging Earth Day, which was yesterday, I urge you all to remember that our climate is our responsibility. We have an opportunity to change how things are going. So let's do that not only for the rest of our existence, as it were, but for the generations to come. I have a bit of hoarse in my voice, and it's a fight. So that's it. Thank you so very much. Take care, and I'll see you all soon. All right, bye.